everybody, we are live. It's the Wild Ginger Running live show. It's Wednesday, it's 6:30 and we are live this week. How exciting, because last week was the week where we all said, where on earth did Shane Benzie go? So Shane Benzie, technique and movement guru, was supposed to come on and chat to us last week, and he basically did not. So basically he was in a traffic jam and he couldn't make it to the live show to be interviewed about technique, and we had loads of great questions from patrons. I was all set up and it was all ready to go, and he couldn't make it. So that's fine, traffic jams happen to everybody, but he just hasn't replied to any of my messages now, so I'm kind of worried about him, especially with the current coronavirus outbreak. I am a little bit worried about where he's gone. He could just be busy. I did phone him and it made the long beep dialing tone, so I don't know if he is in a different country. Maybe he's had to pop back to Africa because he does a lot of research there. But yeah, hello everybody, it's just me tonight, no Shane Benzie, and I'm going to do some Q&A. So hi to Kate Shepherd, who's here live just now. She says, sorry, I can't get hold of Shane, hope he's okay. Yeah, we all just hope he's okay. I've tried emailing him, I've tried messaging him on Facebook, I have tried ringing his mobile number. I don't know what else I can do, because I really wanted him to come on the show because we had loads of really great questions for him, and his film has got tons and tons of views. I don't know if you've seen it. I will have to remember to put a link in the description below if you haven't seen the film that I made with Shane Benzie last year. So instead tonight we're going to do a Q&A, which is fantastic. I've got 6 questions from my YouTube comments. I'm going to talk a little bit about coronavirus as well, because Adrian Camillare in the Patreon Facebook group wanted me to just discuss that a little bit. I'm going to give a quick patron update as well before I go into those questions, and I'm gonna just sneak preview a little perk that's just for patrons, which I'll put in the patron Facebook group afterwards. So this is a little perk that is just for you guys. Hello to everybody who's watching on the live tonight. It's great to see Guy Greatorex, and it's great to see John Gardner as well, and obviously Kate Shepherd as well. So say hi guys if you're watching. Also, can you tell me if the audio is okay? I will put my headphones on if anybody's having trouble with the audio, but I think it's just when there's a guest on that I have to wear the headphones. So questions tonight, we've got ankle strength, we've got waterproof jacket breathability issues, we've got how best to care for windproof jackets, because I've just done a test on those. See my latest YouTube video for that. We've got best shoes for ultra running, we've got trail running areas in London and Manchester, we've got best beginner friendly trail running events as well. So those are the questions I'm going to answer in just a mo, so stay with me. But first, I just want to do a shout out to all the new patrons from February and March. So we've got John Watts, Amanda, Cy Jukebox, Guy Ward, Richard Howard, Ori, Ruth Ellis, Philip Adcock, and Philip Haddock and John Airy. So thank you all so much for signing up to support me, and a massive thank you to all of my patrons for your continued support. You're the reason that I create all these films, and I'm always planning my content with your suggestions in mind, and I do actually have a photo of me planning with your suggestions in mind just here. So this is a big board that I have, and I write down all of your suggestions on that piece of paper that you can see to the left there, and then I sort of schedule it throughout the year. So that is how it all works. So though that's advice, that's based on suggestions from Patreon. If you're a patron but you're not already in the Facebook page, then do get involved ASAP, which is a great way to meet everybody that's already a patron and also find out about regular updates, regular meetups, that kind of thing. And for those of you who aren't patron, it's a chance to support me monthly. You get perks like discounts, meetups, a chance to win £400 worth of trail and ultra running gear every single month. So that is the reason that you might want to support me on Patreon. So what have we been talking about this month then, everybody? Well, it's been a crazy month. There's been a lot to talk about, but before we cover coronavirus, we're going to just talk about some nice things that we've been talking about in the Facebook group. So the first thing is this crazy thing. This is the new Hoka shoe. So Adrian Camilleri has put this in, and we've had so many people talking about this. It's a crazy shoe from Hoka. Can you see there? The heel is a couple of inches outside the main shoe. So I am trying to get my hands on a pair of these. As you can imagine, they're in great demand right now, and apparently I'm not the most important person out there, so they haven't sent me a pair yet, but we can still admire them from afar. I've also just got me a pair of Hoka Speed Goat 4s, and I was running around in the really muddy trails of near Birmingham, south of Birmingham at the weekend. So if you go onto my Instagram, you can see those in action as well. So we've been talking about that in the Patreon Facebook group at the moment. It's just a crazy shoe. Very welcome to put YouTube comments below, just with your comments, your opinions about this shoe. Some people are like, yeah, it's really going to be good as a tool for downhill running, and other people are like, no, they are basically clown shoes. So I would love to get my hands on a pair, wouldn't you? Like, I would love to actually give them a go and hope that I didn't fall on my face in them. So yes, so that's what we've been talking about in the Facebook group this month, and people have been doing some cool stuff as well, which I'm just going to come to in a minute, but I want to read out some more hellos. We've got Natalie Roy, hello from Canada. We've got Miss Roxy Flower, who says they can hear me fine. Amazing. I'm broadcasting loud and clear. That's brilliant. And Recycle Me on Wednesdays also says audio is clear. Colin P says, hey Ginger, hey. And Kate Shepherd says audio's fine. Also Sarah says that too. Thank you guys. That's really good. Guy Greatorex is really up for trail running in Manchester because he lives Macclesfield way. Tom Avery says hi from across the pond. Hello, Tom. And Philip Haddock says hi. Hello, Philip. We've got Rizan123. Hello. And Lisa Anslow is in southwest France. Ooh la la. Bonjour to you, Lisa. And John Gardner, again from across the pond, popular time over there in the USA. He's interested to hear my thoughts on the Speedgoat 4. Well, if you go on my Instagram, I have written like a first review. I'll do a more in-depth one on here later, of course. But my first thoughts is, oh my goodness, they are insanely spongy. They're so bouncy compared to most of the trail running shoes that I'm used to. The trail running shoes that I'm used to are usually lower profile, so they kind of closer to the ground, less cushioning. This one, although it's only 4mm drop, which is the height differential from the heel to the toe, it's really cushioned, as you would expect from a Hoka shoe. So yeah, really interested to try it on some longer runs and just see how that padding kind of supports me. Yeah, they were comfy to run in first off. The toe box was kind of narrow, but you can get a wide fit, so that I think next time I try a pair I will go for the wider fit. And the grip was good. I mean, obviously it didn't stand up to the insane mud of Birmingham, who knew, but you'd need a pair of mud claws or something like that for that like real grip. But I really recommend them as an all-rounder. Yeah, really good. I like them. The only downside is obviously the price point. Shoes are just going up and up at the moment, like over 100 quid for a pair of trail shoes. What is that about? So anyway, all the more important for me to test these shoes and give you the best possible kind of insight into them so that you can choose the best pair for you without having to fork out thousands of pounds in finding the best pair. So one last hello before we go into what the patrons have been up to this month. It's Robin Townsend. Hey Robin, travelling home from Brighton. Woohoo! Oh, and okay, one more. Mark McKellen, he says, can you say hi to Jo from Wales? She thinks you're the best. Cool. Hi Jo. Thanks for thinking that I'm the best. That's really kind of you. This is why I do this channel, obviously, for insane amounts of praise for no reason at all, just chatting. Yeah, John Gardner says they come in wide. Yes, the Hokas come in a wide fit, everybody. So definitely I would try a pair of wides if you've got wide feet issues like me. Okay, so apart from talking about that crazy Hoka shoe, I just want to do a shout out to Nigel Barnett, who has done his first run since Boxing Day. He's done 5k around his local woods, and he only had a slight niggle from his heel. So that is absolutely fantastic news, Nigel. Well done, and hope that continues for you. So Kate Shepherd, just want to do a quick shout out to her. I know she's watching right now. She's on the mend after a foot operation, and she's looking for hilly routes from kind of 2 to 3 hours drive from Solihull. So if people have any suggestions for their favourites, then please do comment in the YouTube comments below. Personally, I would say get yourself to Alport Castles in the Peak District. I'm going to regret this because it's quite little known. It's kind of a hidden gem. It's basically like a tiny Machu Picchu, which is in Peru, but in the Peak District. So it's a tower on a ridge, and you can actually climb up it, and I did a little film of it ages ago. I don't know if I've put it on the YouTube channel, but if I have, I will try and remember to link it up in the description below. Please comment if I haven't done that, and I will do that later. So Alport Castle's in the Peak District, and not so far from you, Kate, just north of Birmingham, I believe, I think it's North Birmingham, is definitely Cannock Chase is north of Birmingham, and the Lickey Hills, which I haven't actually been to yet, but I met a guy called Andy Pye at the National Running Show, and he runs trail running, like trail running courses, trail running training in the Lickey Hills in the north of Birmingham. I think it's the north of Birmingham, and it looks, from his photos on social media, it looks like a really cool place to run. So I really need to get myself to the Lickey Hills and do some running there. So I would recommend that as well, because it looks cool from what I've seen. Okay, so then we've got Mick Sewville. We have a photo of Mick, actually. Let's just find that here. Let's tell you what he's been up to. So, hello. He came 7th, though he's just the guy behind with his thumbs up. And he came 10th on the Trail Monkey El Diablo half marathon in Jersey. So congratulations to Mick. That's fantastic. Well done. And then we have got Bram Van Diemen, who has been doing a looped race, even though he doesn't like loops. So all credit to him. He's done a looped race, and it's in the Netherlands, and it's called the Dodemans Trail, and he's also made a film of it as well. So you can head over to Bram Van Diemen's YouTube channel and take a look at that race if you fancy popping over to the Netherlands and doing any running there. So that's great. Well done, Bram. Then I feel like I'm on like Blue Peter or something, when they read out people's what they've been doing. Oh, well done to you. But it's great. This is brilliant. So then, you know what? Do you know, somebody said, the quality of your films has gone up, because I just did that windproof review, and everyone's like, the quality's gone up, the production value is good. That's because Marco has been editing some of my films, and he edited that one, so that will be why it's good. And so he is in Colombia, and he edits my films for me, and because he's been editing these films, he's got really inspired, and he's actually started trail running over in Colombia. So he did his first trail race last month, and I just want to show you some pictures of Marco, because he's ever so pleased with what he's been doing. So there he is at the end of his first ever trail run. Congratulations to Marco there. And then he got this really cool medal as well. So let me just show you that as well. La Ruta del Coyote. There you go. So that looks like a good one if you're heading over to Colombia. Then Ruta del Coyote sounds like a really good trail. I think he's going to do another one in the summer as well, so when it's going to be even hotter. Cool. And then last but definitely not least, I know she is watching tonight, so that is good. Robin Townsend has booked herself on the Wild Ginger Running training camp. So have I got yes, I have got a little training camp thing. Let me just put you up there, Robin. So yeah, wildgingerrunning.co.uk/training camp. We are full, but somebody has offered to do more coaching for us. So we have 5 more places on the trail running camp. 5. Yes, It's from the 24th to the 26th of April, and it's in the Peak District. It's from Castleton YHA, and we are going to do loads of stuff. Okay, so we've got 4 trail runs. We've got a night run with silverhead torches. We've got a talk on nutrition. We've got strength training. We've got uphill and downhill and navigation coaching from Dave Taylor, and we've got an exclusive first showing, like a sneak preview of my Cape Wrath Ultra film, which Marco actually edited, and I've done a short version of that. So that will be there for you to see. So there's 3 patrons going so far. Bob Deary, Robin Townsend, obviously, and Bob Deary, and also Guy Greatorex will be there. So there's only 5 places left. And if you're a patron, you get extra perks. Everybody will get a goodie bag, which I'm just working on putting together at the moment. And patrons will get some extra special stuff in their goodie bag. So there's only 3 patrons at the moment, so I'm going to arrange a personally selected gift for all of you. So thank you very much for signing up to the training camp, and I think it's going to be awesome. It's with Tracks and Trails, so they're really organised. They're like a proper company with loads of experience, and so that's why I've gone with them. I've chosen to run this training camp with them rather than just do it all alone, because there's a lot of hard work goes into it, I can tell you. So yeah, sign up for that, wildgingerrunning.co.uk/training camp. Oh, Nigel is here. I've just literally mentioned you, Nigel. I'm gonna have to mention you again just so that you can hear this. Nigel has his first run since Boxing Day. Whoop whoop. 5k around local woods, only a slight niggle from the hill. Amazing. I hope the running's still going well, Nigel. And yeah, just had to repeat that because you've just joined. Awesome. Okay, so that is all the patron news there. Yeah, so if you want to support me and be in with a chance to win 400 quid's worth of trail running kit, we've got like amazing stuff. We've got a silverhead torch, we've got a Rab Skyline leggings, what else have we got? I can't remember what's in the competition. An Innovate backpack, a Morton nutrition worth 50 quid, and some ProTech anti-chafing cream as well, all up for grabs this month. That's next month. Next month we've got some goodies from OM as well, because they're hopefully, coronavirus notwithstanding, running the OM Light at the OM Festival on the first bank holiday in May. Anyway, I digress. Let's get on to the first thing I want to talk about. I don't want to talk about this for too long, because obviously if you've been listening to the radio or not been living in a cave or self-isolating for the last X months, you will know all about coronavirus already. Adrian Camilleri wanted to just ask about how the running world in the UK will be affected because of the coronavirus. So obviously, as we've been seeing, there's been increasing lockdown in Italy, flights have been cancelled from the UK, etc., etc. So if you were going to do a race in Europe or Italy, then you might have a few problems. David Wilson from the Patrons group has also posted that the Marathon des Sables has been postponed until September. But in the UK, I had a quick check before coming live, and I can't see anything that has been cancelled due to coronavirus just yet. So as far as I know, the OM Light event at the OM Festival on the first bank holiday weekend in May, where I'm working, that has not been cancelled. The London Marathon has not been cancelled either. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm not a medical professional, so I'm not going to comment either way, but I think it's just best to heed the latest advice from the medical professionals. Keep washing your hands, avoid touching people unnecessarily, shaking hands, all that business, all the usual precautions. So stay strong, guys. We will get through this. So on to the first question. And this, Nigel says, yes, it's all good. It's coming along nicely. So great to hear. Always good to hear that somebody is coming back over from injury. That's great. Good to hear. Okay, so first question. So this is a question about ankle strength, and it's from James on, I think it was on Instagram. Oh, the wind is blowing my door open. It's not the cat. So question about ankle strength, first of all. So James says he's been training for his first half marathon mountain run, and that's going to be in October. But unfortunately, he recently broke his left ankle while rock climbing. So he was wondering if I've got any tips or suggestions for ankle exercises to relieve stress on it while running, and it's going to be difficult to keep in shape. So any information would be greatly appreciated. Okay, so James, you are in luck because I have a playlist which I will link to in the description, the film description below, and it's got exercise in it. So it's got a high intensity interval training, kind of 10 to 15 minute exercise workout. And there's about 3 or 4 ankle strengthening exercises there as well that you could do. So I would suggest that first of all you go and see a fully trained physio to assess when your ankle will be fully ready to run again. But then once you're in the all clear, then doing those ankle strengthening exercises in that exercises playlist would be a really, really good idea. It's things like holding your balance whilst on one leg, with one leg on pillow. It's things like single-legged squats, and it's things like calf raises as well. So all of those type of things that will help to strengthen your ankle. And some of them you can just do whilst you're waiting for your kettle to boil before you make a cup of tea. So it's really, really easy to fit them into your day. So hope that helps, and good luck in your first half marathon on trails. Stay tuned to Wild Ginger Running and keep us posted. So the next question is from Bob Barr. So Bob Barr says, have I ever reviewed the Salomon Bonatti waterproof jacket? So he has one, and he's wondering how people deal with the accumulation of sweat. Let's just get his question up here. So he says, he says you do, oh no, that's what I said. He said he's wondering how people deal with the accumulation of sweat because he wore it on the Centurion 100 and he got really cold due to the moisture trapped inside the jacket. So is this what others experiences are, and are there any tips? So yeah, feel free to write your tips in the YouTube comments below, and I'm just gonna head on and answer that question for you, Bob. So yes, I have worn the Salomon Bonatti jacket. I've worn that testing for Trail Running magazine ages ago, but I don't think it's the actual make of the jacket at all. I find the same thing with all waterproofs. So with all waterproofs, I know they say breathable, and they are more breathable than, like, say, a bin bag or a plastic bag, or, you know, like your own poncho made out of, like, I don't know, co-op bags or something. They are more breathable than that. But if you're working at any great level, if you're exerting yourself, you will get sweaty from the inside. So the thing about waterproof jackets and trail running is to manage when you put it on and how you ventilate yourself. So it's about only putting it on when it's absolutely needed. And for that reason, I often use a more breathable windproof jacket for warmth if there's only going to be light showers, carrying the waterproof in my backpack. I won't put my waterproof on until, like, the last possible resort. It's like my last resort. If I can get away with not putting it on, I don't put it on because I hate running too hot and I hate getting sweaty from the inside. So you can have a look at my windproof test. If you don't use a windproof already, they're a really, really good bit of kit. They are much more breathable than a waterproof, and they do keep off light showers, so that is an option there. The thing with that is that I would say you don't have to then take that jacket off to put your waterproof on. If it starts raining and you're wearing that with your backpack on, just get it out of your backpack while you're not moving, and just put it on over the top of everything. So put it on over your backpack and everything. That's what I would do. I would buy like one size bigger of waterproof jacket so that you can do that, and you can zip it up with your backpack still on. So then I would, if I absolutely have to wear it, I would then vent using the zip. Obviously, if it's pouring down, you're going to want to be battened down, but presumably you'll be a little bit chilly because it doesn't often. Oh, well, it's usually a little bit cooler when it starts to rain, isn't it? Unless you have to properly batten down the hatches, unless it's a proper downpour, I would undo the little Velcro bits so that you've got venting coming from the arms. I would undo the zip here. I wouldn't put the hood up until like the absolute last possible moment. I'd maybe wear a peaked hat as well. I love a peaked hat because of my eyes always just get really bad in the sun. So yes, I would vent the jacket, and I would only put it on at the last possible moment. You are sadly always going to get hot and sweaty if it's warm and raining at the same time. So then it's a case of wearing it, accepting that you're going to be warm, wet yet warm, which is its job, and then you rely on your wicking quick drying top to do its job right when it stops. So when it stops raining, you then take the waterproof jacket off and you hang it through your strap or whatever, so that it can sort of get dry in the wind, like a makeshift washing line. You turn your backpack into a makeshift washing line, and then you should dry on the move. So it's about wearing the right gear underneath that waterproof jacket as well, so that when it stops raining, you're not just wet and soggy for the whole thing. But if it is just raining all the time and quite warm all the time, then you might just be hot and sweaty. I would say if you're overheating in that waterproof jacket and it is raining, just take it off. Consider taking it off. When I was on the Isle of Man, I didn't actually run in my waterproof jacket at all, even though it did rain, because it was just too hot. So it takes a little bit of experience to know, because you don't want to put it on too late and then not be able to do it up with cold hands, etc. But I do a lot of running just in a t-shirt or long sleeve base layer and gloves on as well. So that's like my go-to setup, and then I'll only put that waterproof jacket on if absolutely necessary. Okay, so I hope that's answered your question, Bob. And yeah, stay tuned, because I will be doing a waterproofs test later on in the year, probably in time for when it starts getting a bit colder. The windproof test is out now. And yeah, so just keep following to see more advice there. Okay, so we're on now to question number 3, which is also about jackets, but this time windproof jackets, because Guenevere Bone, she's seen my latest windproof test, and she asked a question about how to preserve the water repellency of a windproof jacket. And so a windproof jacket is not a waterproof jacket, hasn't got tape seams, in a nutshell. So watch that review for more information on that. She says she gets quite sweaty. I should put her thing up, shouldn't I? Da-de-da-de-da. Washing windproofs. Here we go. So there we go. This is Guinevere's question here. So she sweats quite a lot, so she likes to wash her windproof regularly. And she's just asking kind of like how to wash it, how to care for it in the best possible way. So yes, you don't want to be washing any kind of waterproof or water resistant running gear in normal detergent, as this basically can strip away the DWR, which is the durable water repellency, which is on the fabric of most jackets, or within the fibres of most jackets. So I would wash them in, you can get soap flakes just from your supermarket. They're literally flakes of soap. I've found them less and less in my local supermarket, so I don't know if that's something that is quite old-fashioned, that's being phased out. But if in doubt, you can get something called Active Wash from Nikwax. So I have actually got a picture of this. Active Wash from Grainger's. Okay, so Active Wash is from Grainger's. Here we go. And they are Blue Sign approved, so that means that they're not going to put harmful chemicals into the water systems. Or they're on the, if you want another brand, there's Nikwax Base Wash, and they are also very eco-friendly. They comply with an even stricter list of restricted chemicals than even the REACH guidelines, so that's good. You can be safe in the knowledge that you're being eco-friendly using these products. So I would wash your technical garments in this kind of thing. You could also wash anything, actually, like your shorts, t-shirts, everything, because it maintains, both of these will maintain any antibacterial treatment that's in your garment as well. It won't strip anything out of it, so presumably you'll stay less pongy for longer, which is always good, isn't it? And then probably like maybe once a month. I don't usually wash my windproof jackets like at all, because the moment I start sweating, I'll just take it off, so I don't really get them sweaty. But if you are really sweaty and you are like needing to deal with this, then I do this every time you want to wash them in Base Wash and Active Wash, and then maybe once a month, like once every couple of months, then you could refresh the DWR. So there's something called TX Direct, and that's from Nikwax. And then we've also got something from Grainger's, and it's called Clothing Repel. So I'll put some links to these in the description below. And so if anybody fancies buying them, unfortunately it is on Amazon, which I know is not everybody's first choice of purchasing retailer, but it does give me a small percentage of the sale. So if you want to buy any of these products, I'll put links to them in the description below, so just have a look in there, and your kit will hopefully last you for loads longer using these things. So there you go. I hope that answers your question, Guinevere, and happy not too sweaty running in your windproofs. So question number 4, are you all still with me? So we've got a few more people. Chris Brown says hi. Catherine Dolliver says hiya. Miss Rocky Flower has corrected me on the Licky Hills. It's actually south of Brum. Oops. Okay, well that's even better, because my sister lives south of Birmingham, so next time I'm there I will venture over to Licky Hills and I will give them a run. Kate Shepherd says, well done Marco for doing his first trail race. And she says the Licky Hills are great, perhaps a good place for next meetup. Yes, good idea. Very central for everybody. New comments. Phil says the active wash from Granger's works really well. So that's fantastic. Good news on that from the last question there from Phil Haddock. Thank you very much. So question 4. This is a very difficult question. So Ginette Sear says, what trail shoes would you recommend for ultras? She's running a 100k. Let's get her question up and start again. I always forget I've screen grabbed the question to show you that they're real questions from real people. Where is her question? What shoes for ultras? Here we go. There we go. Okay, right, let's start again. Ginette Sear says, what trail shoes would you recommend for ultras? She's running a 100k in May, and the last 50k is over the South Downs to Brighton, and she was just wondering which shoes I would suggest. So this is a super, super difficult question. It's not a bad question, it's a great question, but it's really, really hard for me to answer because it depends on the person. So it depends on the shape of your feet. Some people have like a wide fit on the toe box especially, some don't. Some people get on with, say, quick laces, some people don't. Some people need a higher drop than others. That's the height differential from the heel to the toe. And you say it's over the South Downs to Brighton, but it depends what the weather's going to be like at that time of year, because May could go either way. It could be really, really hot, really dry conditions, as we saw a couple of years ago when Killian Jornet broke the Bob Graham record, or it could be a total mud bath. So I suppose most trail runners would have an arsenal of maybe 2 types of shoe in their trail running wardrobe. Some people have a lot more than that, but most people have like a kind of a multi-terrain shoe, which just has like a small amounts of grip and a little bit of cushioning to cover both road and trail, so a mixture of terrain, different surfaces. And then you probably, if you're going to be doing some really like gloopy, muddy races with not much road and lots of soft stuff, you probably need like a full-on, like, you know, the Innovate Mudclaw kind of real deep aggressive lugs, so you'd probably want a pair of those type of shoes as well. So thinking about the South Downs, probably going to be not so muddy, so like maybe like a medium lugged shoe, but so that's the grip is an important thing to think about, but the main thing is to get one that fits you the best, with some grip and similar drop to the shoes that you already wear. So I have explained this in a different film, and I'll link to this in the description below, so have a watch of that film. It's called How to Buy Your First Trail Shoe, but it applies to ultra running shoes too. There's just so many different brands. I wouldn't want to just recommend one, but if you look at Innovate shoes, like maybe the I always get mixed up between the Trail Rock and the Rock Light. The Rock Light. That's a good multi-use shoe. You've got the Salomon Speed Cross, which is another good all-terrain, kind of quite a lot of grip, and a bit of cushioning and quite a high drop as well. And there's shoes like the Akasha from La Sportiva, which is a good all-rounder as well. You've got Scott Sports, you've got the Supertrack RC, and oh, I'm just thinking off the top of my head now for more shoe brands. Oh, the Hoka, yeah, the Hoka Speedcoat 4s. I've just literally been testing. Those would be good all-rounders as well. And you've got the Brooks Divide as well. That's quite a cushioned trail shoe as well. So that would do from for lots of different types of terrain. There really are loads on the market, so the best thing to do if you can is to go to your local independent running store, who will be able to advise you because they run too, and they might get you running like up and down, like outside. I know Accelerate in Attercliffe near Sheffield, well, South Sheffield, they get you running on the treadmill, and they also get you running up outside the store if it's not raining outside, so they can really see how you run in the shoe and see what gait you've got. Oh, Saucony Peregrines, also a good one. So yeah, I would try on as many as you can, and more than the grip and anything else, and like whether elite athletes wear them or your best friend wears them or anything, just get a pair that fits really well, and make sure you've got enough room in the toe box for your feet to swell, especially on ultras, because your feet can start off like this and then they can end up like this. So definitely go for a bit of a wider fit in the toe box than you think. Don't be snug in there to start with. Oh yes, Guy Greatrix has literally just added this. I didn't copy you, Guy. And he also suggests the Terra Ultra from Innovate as well. He's really liking that shoe at the moment as well. Cool. Okay, so yeah, so check out my how to buy a trail running shoe, Ginette, if that hopefully that will help you. I will link up to that in the film description below, so do give that a watch as well. So question number 5 is about running. Guy Greatrix is going to like this question because it's all about running in London and Manchester. So, as we know, we don't always have to go to the Lake District, Scotland, Wales, Snowdonia to run on trails. There are trails everywhere, if you care to look for them. And Geeman says, good runs in London or Manchester. So, I went to university in Manchester, so I would recommend Chorlton Water Park. Jump in on the live chat if you know some other stunning areas around Manchester. Also, if you've got like a longer day out, I would head out on the train to the Peak District. I used to do that a lot, mountain biking, when I was at uni, but equally that can be great for running. There's loads of stations that just kind of wind their way through the Peak District, the Dark Peak area especially, so you could run like a loop from or maybe in between stations like New Mills, Hebden Bridge, Edale, Hope and Hathersage as well. So check out the routes there, and you could, to find other people that have run in that area, then you could look on Strava heat maps as well. You could look on apps like Komoot where people share their runs, and you could look, I think View Ranger also do like a route sharing thing. I'm just investigating View Ranger right now, so I'll be able to tell you more information about that shortly. So then London, all of the major parks basically, great for trail running. Personally, I really like Wimbledon Common. That's one of my favourites because it's got lots of little twisting paths through the woodland, and it kind of really makes you feel like you're out in the wilds, even though you're in the middle of London, and you can hear all the planes going across. But then again, if you've got a longer day and you're in London, then you could take the tube out or the train out to the outskirts. Maybe you could run a few times up and down Box Hill. They even have a fell race there, or like out to the southwest, or you could go as far as the South Downs even. They're absolutely super, like rolling grassy hills, and of course amazing coastal views as well. So get yourself out of London and onto those trails, G-Man. Hope that helps you. Fantastic. So we're on to the next question. We're just going to do a little catch up of the live chit chat. So now is the time to put your live comments in if you want a little shout out. We've got Di Wilson. He says, hi ladies and gents. Hello to you, Di. Jeremy Hudson is watching from the US in Texas. Amazing. He says, thank you for your wonderful channel. And he agrees. Hoka, Innovate. Oh, Ultra. Yeah, I forgot Ultra. Yeah, Ultra have a super wide toe box. Thank you for mentioning that. The only thing is they are 0 drop. So if you're not used to running with such a low heel, like normal shoes are like stacked like this, if you're not used to running dead like this, it can in some people put a strain on the Achilles tendon and on the calf muscle as well. So just be a little bit careful going to 0 drops straight from like a really cushioned chunky heel shoe, because you might not it might just lead to a little bit of niggles or injury there. So just make sure about that if you're going to try the ultras, guys. A shout out there for more about shoes. People love shoes. Like loads of people, I've been testing more shoes lately, and loads of people have been like on the social media like, oh, this about the shoe, this about the shoes. I suppose because shoes are such an expensive purchase, aren't they? Such an expensive purchase, and you can't really take them back once you've tried them properly, can you? Like for 4 hours in the mud. So it's really hard to get them right. So I'm going to be reviewing more shoes in 2020 to try and help you like get a feel for them and see what kind of foot shape they would suit and see if they'd be good for you. So Nigel Barnett says he got his shoes from Accelerate in Sheffield for many years and can highly recommend them. Great, that's fantastic. So yeah, everybody head over to them. A great suggestion here for running in Manchester, Rivington Pike, which is near Bolton. So presumably you can just get the bus out there and hike up that one. And Phil Haddock also recommends that. Yep, and James Frost says Ultra certainly have a wide toe box. Yeah, indeed they do. And Guy Greatrex says that he puts a Superfeet insole inside. So that is a really good idea, because you can then alter the drop of the shoe. So if you're not used to running in 0 drop and you just feel like a little bit more support, a little bit more cushioning, insole inside just gives you extra couple of millimeters there. So yeah, that's a really good suggestion from Guy there. Excellent. Cool. It's really cool having you guys here on the live chat, because it can just like augment the questions. Great, so let's get on to, I think this is the last question of the evening. Oh my goodness, last question of the evening, unless there's any questions on the live chat. I'm here, guys. If you need me to answer any of your questions, then pop them in the comments. They're to the left of me just here, and I will read them out. If not, just write a nice comment, and whatever you want to say to your other fellow trail runners, I will read it out for you. So, last question is from a lady called Wonder Woman. Let me find her. Beginner trail running events. Here we go. Right. Ta-da. Okay, so Wonder Woman on the Instagram says, do you know any... no, let's start again. So, Wonder Woman on Instagram says, are there any beginner-friendly trail running events? She doesn't want to turn up to something really elitist and too difficult. So this is a common concern with beginners. Most trail running events are super friendly, so whatever you pick should be a really good one. But there are lots, especially for beginners, and that really welcome beginners and are really suitable for people who have just started trail running. If you know a great one that I'm not about to talk about, then please write it in the comments below to help Wonder Woman out. But I'm going to tell you about the ones that I started at. So I started trail running at the Lakeland Trails. So these are all in the Lake District, and they've got distances from like 10k to 18k. They also do half marathon and marathon events in June and July, and they do an ultra, the 110k, and that's in July. So the thing I like about this series is that they start really early in the season, so in March, and then they finish in November. So they do a great span, because most events are from like May to like July, it seems. So it's really good to have that real spread of events. They do a multi-event discount as well. So this is a great excuse to just keep going back to the beautiful Lake District. So the races are all fully waymarked and marshalled, so you'd have to try really hard to get lost. The atmosphere at the start's really fun and friendly. They've got like drumming bands. I think they call it ballata bands. Those like dig. It really gets you fired up. It's like really makes you really happy. So that's really fun. And then I think they welcome you back into the finish as well, or there's kind of some kind of live music to welcome you back to the finish. Everybody's crowding around and everybody stays there because it's a real family-friendly festival atmosphere, with like the live music. There's food stalls, there's ice cream vans, and there's a bouncy castle, which I presume is only for kids, but if it is, that's a shame. And it's a really lovely way to spend a day, and so I really recommend the Lakeland Trails, and that's where I first started. So if you want options outside of the Lake District, there's Endurance Life. They've got really like all distances from 10k to 10k, half marathon, marathon, all the way up to ultra, and they're mainly in the southwest and along the Welsh coast as well. A lot of coastal running with them, like to the Lizard and that kind of thing. Maverick races, they have plenty of events in the southeast and all over the UK. Although Maverick races have plenty of events in the southeast, and then all over the UK is the National Trust. They run 10k trail runs through their estates, so that could be anywhere all over the UK, so check out their website for that. So take a look at all of those to find a nice beginner event close to you, and good luck. Like, the main thing is to have fun and enjoy it, so just remember that nobody's thinking nobody's thinking anything bad about you, nobody's thinking any negative thoughts. Everybody's just going, well, hey, well done to you for getting out there. So yeah, go for it, Wonder Woman, and that is why you are called Wonder Woman. Hey, surely. Brilliant. So that is the end of all scheduled questions. I want to tell you about the next live broadcasts as well, because I've got some really cool people coming up. But first I'm just going to check the live chat to see if there's any questions here tonight that I'm just going to answer before my time is up. I'll try and do an hour for these. So John Gardner says manufacturers are constantly changing shoes. This is a very good tip. He says he will often buy 1 or 2 pairs more than the pair he runs in, so that he can just keep using that shoe. Because yes, they are always changing the shoes. I had a walking boot from Salomon, which I loved when I was like 17. They made this really great walking boot. It never gave me any blisters. I walked 50 miles in it one time, and I swore never to walk 50 miles again. But it was a great shoe. And then they just stopped doing it. They just changed it. So yeah, the company's under great pressure to kind of produce new things, and everyone wants to review the next new thing. So yeah, if you find a shoe that really fits you, buy 17 pairs and they'll last you for life. Okay, so, Ruth Ellis. Ruzanne123 is Ruth Ellis, a new patron. Welcome, Ruth. Lovely to have you on the live chat. Thank you so much for your question. So, what would you suggest for tight calves halfway through a run? Good question here. So this could be to do with maybe needing to warm them up a little bit more beforehand. So you could do, it depends what the length of the run is, but especially the shorter the run, like park run, for example, the longer your warm up should be. So I would start like wearing not your running stuff, like stuff over the top, what do you call it, like tracksuit bottoms and a jumper to be warm. So be really warm and do a little bit of a warm up, so like a bit of jogging, a bit of mobility exercises where you just like swing your leg from side to side, and basically get in the mood for some running. Maybe some heel kicks, maybe some high knees, that kind of a thing. So a little bit of a warm up like that, and then just really gently. I'm not really into like static stretching before doing a major workout, because you only want to do major stretching when you're really, really, really warm. But once you are a little bit warmed up, once you feel like taking a layer off, that's what happens when you've warmed up properly. You feel like taking that first layer off. Then just move your calves a bit. So just stand up straight and just put one foot back and like lean forward a bit, and like one foot back, lean forward a bit, like that. If you can see it, find a curb, then just like really gently, just lower, stand on the curb, like with your the balls of your feet, just really gently lower, just so that you can feel a slight movement, a slight stretch there, but don't overdo it before you're running. So that's a little bit more warming up before the race. And also, you could do some calf strengthening exercises, just to make sure that they're super, super strong. So on your stairs at home, imagine that my iPhone here is the stair. So stand this is the ball of your foot here. Stand with the ball of your foot on the edge of the stair there. Rise up like that, and then really controlled movement all the way down. Pretend that's your heel. So that you've got a nice stretch there, and then all the way up as well, like that. So do that 15 times. So start off do it 5 times to start off with both. feet, and then progress to doing 15 times 3, and then try 5 just on one and 5 just on the other side as well. And then up that so that you can do 15 times 3 on both sides. You will find that one leg is way better than the other. My left leg is pants at this. It can do about 10 before it keels over. The right leg can go for hours. So you might find that you've got a slight imbalance. So work on that. And then the other thing to do would be to make sure that you're fueling correctly during the run as well. So, and pre-run. So make sure you have a good breakfast 2 hours before, some porridge, honey, toast, avocado, whatever you like, 2 hours before. And then if it's one of the longer runs and you're getting tight calves halfway through, I would suggest eating something just in case it's lack of sugar or lack of salt. So electrolytes in your drink, so make sure you've got all the electrolytes there so you're not kind of cramping. And maybe some people, especially the Americans, they swear by pickle juice, so vinegar. You could try that. And also jelly babies. Go-to energy gel for me, jelly babies. So yeah, whatever you can manage to eat on the run, try that just before halfway, like before it kicks in. The key to all of this is to prevent it happening rather than to cure it. So yes, that is what I would suggest. And if anybody else has got any suggestions, I will just check. Oh yes, here we go. Jeremy Hudson, he is suggesting dynamic stretching, as we did suggest, and then warming up, stretching after. Yeah, also compression calf sleeves have helped him as well at times, so you might want to try that, Ruth, as well. Some compression calf sleeves. I've tried actually running in those before, and I feel like they kind of sloop me in too much. I have enjoyed running in compression tights. They kind of give you a bit of a ping. I like that. But yes, some people swear by calf sleeves and some people don't get on with them as much. If you're going to go for them, go for a company which actually take your measurements, widest part and thinnest part, because you definitely want to get the right fit there. Don't just get some off the shelf ones. Get like 2XU or I think it's CEP Sport. One of the kind of professional kind of rugby type brands. So that might be good for you. Let me just see if anybody else. Oh, there's loads of questions coming. Oh, great! I love questions. Just see if there's any more answers for tight calves to help Ruth out. Okay, yeah, one more thing from Nigel Barnett. 15 minutes into a run, usually stop and stretch them and then usually carry on. So that's great. So yeah, so that's basically 15 minutes of warm up and then doing a bit of a stretch. Yeah, don't stretch to the point of hurting ever, just little stretch just so that you just feel it, and don't have a bounce either. That's bad. Brill. Ruth says, thanks for the tips. Cool. It's great to give like immediate feedback here. Left calf is rubbish. Yes, my left calf is rubbish too. I should do them. Let's all vow to do them every day. Graham House says compression socks does work for him as well. Yeah, especially after a run. Yeah, I should mention that too. So there's the whole recovery aspect as well with the compression socks. Indeed, there is the science to prove that using compression wear after you've run does help with recovery. So yes, that's definitely a good one there. Okay, so blah, 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 more questions. Let me see. Oh, Glen Baddeley says, hi Claire, what is your favourite trail in the UK? That is such a difficult question, Glen. Well, I think I'm going to do a Killian Jornet because this is what he said to me when I asked him this question. He says he doesn't have a favourite trail, he just has the next trail. That is his favourite trail. And I think along similar lines to him because obviously we're just such similar people. So yeah, basically, I really like exploring new trails. So I would probably say that my favourite trail is probably the da-da experience of finding a new trail and just going, oh wow, I've never been here before. I can add it to my kind of arsenal, like my map in my head of the UK. So yeah, I really like the types of trail that I really like are woodland trails, you know, like those twisting ones where you have to kind of go left and right around trees and jump over roots and rocks and things like that. Yeah, and mountain trails as well, any trails beside lakes. yeah, I love variety, and I like the next new trail that I'm going to do. So yeah, it wouldn't be fair to name any particular area. So yeah, but great question. That is an awesome question. Cool. We've got blah, blah. Yeah, so yeah, do read the live, reread the live chat, anybody who's watching later on, because there's loads of cool advice in here. Paul Donald says, oh, this is a difficult question. Paul Donald says, having problems getting UK size 15 trail shoes. Do you know any brands for big feet? Yes, because also when you go and do an ultra, your feet will swell, so that's like even more difficult. So I know that I had a friend who needed size 14 Innovates, and they were hard to come by. Really hard to come by. Most shoes only go up to a 12, don't they? I'm really sorry, but I don't know the answer to that. So if anybody can help on the live chat, or if you can help in the comments, in the YouTube comments, then Paul, please check back, because somebody might have some advice there. The only thing I can think of just off the top of my head is that if somebody would custom make you a shoe, or if you might have to use some of the like the more widespread, like the more popular running brands, you know, like your Nike, your Adidas, which you've said there, one of the more popular running brands, and then send them off to be resold with a trail running grip. There's a company that does that. I can't remember the name exactly, but somebody will be able to advise on the YouTube, on the comments. I think it's Lancashire Repairs or something like that. It's up north, and it's a repair company, and they resole shoes. So if you were to send them a road shoe that you found in a size 15, they could put a trail running type sole on it. So that is from me, out of my brain. Let's see if we've got anything on the live chat. I can't see anything at the moment. No, can't find anything there. But yeah, sorry about that. And that's something that I should look into. I shall make a note now. So big shoes, Paul Donald, size 15. Okay, but congratulations for having such big feet. You know what they say about big feet? Big shoes. Oh, I ruined the punchline. Damn it. You know what they say about big shoes? Big feet. Boom. Okay, I'll stop trying to be a comedian, because that has not worked at all. Interesting update from Nigel Barnett. Has she, Ruth, considered being checked for anterior compartment syndrome? So yeah, you might want to go to physio and just get a bit of a massage on those calves, and just check that out as well, Ruth. Could be a bit of knots, bit of tightness in the calves, that could need a bit of a bit of a massage out. Cool. Great. Graham Howes wants me to come to the Ultra Trail in Cape Town. I would love to come to Cape Town. I actually went to do the Otter Trail at the same time as Ricky Lightfoot broke the record. So I was in South Africa for a weekend. I was more time on a plane than I was in the beautiful country of South Africa. I would love to come, but at the moment I'm having a real issue with flying because of the environmental impact on the world. So at the moment, I am not really doing anything which takes me overseas. I'm even trying to get a train to Chamonix when I go over there in August. But yeah, I'm sure once a year I could do something. So if the race would like to pay for me to come over, then yay, I would definitely consider that. It sounds like an amazing race. Do put some photos up so we can all see what it's like. Oh, Guy Greatrex has a shoe thing. He knows Hoka goes up to a 14.5. Ooh, you might have to chop off your toes there, Paul. Great. He says, thanks for that. I'll do a search. Fab. Okay, I've answered all the questions. Now I want to tell you about what's coming up on next week's live broadcast. So I'm very excited to announce that the next live broadcast is going to feature none other than ace ultra runner and coach Ellie Greenwood. So she's British, but she lives in the United States, and she coaches with Ian Sharman as part of Sharman Ultra Coaching. So amazing to have her on. She's just won Ultra Runner of the Year from somewhere. So we're going to talk to her about that as well. So she knows all about ultra running. So if you're thinking about doing those longer distances, then definitely tune in next Wednesday. You don't. All of her advice will be applicable for half marathons and marathons as well. So even if you're not thinking of going longer, it's definitely still applicable to you. So that's next Wednesday, 6:30 is Ellie Greenwood. Then the weekend after, I'm going to the Pennines with my running club for a week holiday, and I'm very much looking forward to it. So I'm gonna have a night off, and I'm just gonna upload something which is not live, just so you have something to watch at 6:30. But it won't be me live, because last time I tried to do it on holiday, I got like a bit stressed about everything, and the sound was rubbish, and it was just all awful. So I think I'd rather just say no, I'm not doing it. I'm gonna put something else up, and you can all have next week. The following week is April Fool's Day, so I thought, who better to come on the channel on April Fool's Day but comedian, author and runner Paul Tonkinson. I'm reading his book at the moment, and it has made me laugh out loud a total of probably about 1 million times so far. So he's really funny. Hopefully he will be on top form and basically give us a gig next Wednesday. We will chat to him about his running. He does do a lot of marathon running. He was like searching for sub-3 marathon time for many a year, but he is also really a passionate lover of trail running as well. So it'd be great to hear from him. Then the week after, I think we'll do another Q&A, unless Shane Benzie gets back to me, in which case we could shunt him in for some more technique coaching. Then we've got super physio Tim Piggott, who I met at the Bridgedale sock photo shoot that I did the other week. So he is going to tell us all about our injuries, aches and pains, niggles. If you've got anything wrong with you, then definitely tune in to that session, because Tim Piggott is going to answer us all our questions and show us some really good, hopefully, exercises to do to kind of prehab ourselves to prevent against the injury in the first place. Then we have got, really excited about this one, Montane athlete Debbie Martin-Consani. So I am really thrilled to announce that Montane are going to be sponsoring my UTMB 6-day trip, where I recce the UTMB race course in over 6 days, so 20 miles a day-ish. So they are sponsoring me for that. I'm going to be doing it in Montane gear, etc. So as a little thank you to them, I am going to be interviewing some Montane athletes on the channel coming up. So Debbie Martin-Consani is the first of these. So she's a super ultra runner. She's also a 24-hour, one of those lap runners. How insane is that? So we're going to be asking her all about that. She's also got a kid, so she works full time. So we'll ask her about how she fits all in, etc. And she's also an older athlete as well, so we'll ask her some questions about training as you approach later stages of life. Okay, so cool. Lots of people on the live chat going mad for all the different guests, so that's cool. And somebody wants me to do a review on vegan trail running shoes. Renato Boema. Well, Renato, if you can put in the comments once this film is over, put in the comments what they are, then I will do my best to get some of them in, because that sounds brilliant. Fantastic. Just shout out to Maeve O'Reilly, who's just finished a bike workout in her bedroom. Good on you. What a great way to watch these films. And Ellie is still John Gardner is just, sorry, I should have mentioned this. Ellie's still the course record holder for the Western States endurance run, 100 miler in the States. Sorry, did not mention that. That should have been the first thing I said. Guy Greatrex thinks we should all cross-train whilst watching YouTube. I know, I would love to put this on a podcast, but I'm just struggling to get the funding at the moment, so bear with me on that one. Just maybe watch me on YouTube in your pocket through your headphones on a run, and don't watch the pictures. And yes, some amazing guests coming up, says Abby Norman. Hello to you, Abby, and hopefully see you at the Light event. That'll be cool. And Graham Howells says that the record of the Western States might be under threat from Courtney Daughter. I know, isn't she amazing? Cool. Oh, Recycle on Wednesdays says something really nice. This channel is just too good. Thank you for all your hard work. Thanks, guys. It's really nice to be appreciated because all these YouTube films are free, which does lead me to do a bit of a promo for the channel. So book my training camp if you would like to come and run in the Peak District and learn all about running. It's like beginner to intermediate level. So here is the link to the training camp. So yeah, book my training camp. Only five places left. Only 5 places left. 24th to 26th of April. If you want, get a t-shirt, Wild Ginger Running t-shirt. They've got colour on them now as well. They're even better than before. And sell buffs as well. Not wearing one tonight, but yeah, you know what a buff looks like. It's basically the buff with this logo, that logo on it, all over the place, so you can recognise each other whilst out on the run. Then the other thing that you might want to do is support me on Patreon. So if you sign up on Patreon, then there is one more thing as well. Sign up on Patreon for perks and the monthly competition to win 400. I nearly said £400,000 worth of stuff. No, just £400 worth of trail running gear. We've got really cool stuff from Rab, from Innovate, from Morton, from Silver, and Protect, Skin Protect, anti-chafing stuff. So loads of cool stuff in the competition. Just scroll back a few videos back and you will see last time's competition and you can see what was there. So yeah, sign up to me on Patreon. You get automatic entry to all of that. Why would you not do it? It's a no-brainer. It's like price a cup of coffee every month to say tar for a free YouTube channel. Do it now. Then the only other thing to do is sign up to my race. I'm organising a trail race. Come and meet me. 13th, Saturday the 13th of June, trail race. Neem Valley Races is called. There's a 10 miler, there's a 20 miler. We are working on a super medal illustration designed by none other than award-winning local artist Stephen Hall, who happens to be my husband, and he's just done a super illustration, and it's like a one-off. It will just be for 1 year only. He'll do a different one each year. So do come to that race. Sign up now. It's on SI entries. It's called the Neem Valley Races, so just Google Neem Valley Races SI entries. It should come up. So yeah, thank you to everybody for watching. Ruth says, if I do a training camp next year, I will come. Yes, so I'm talking at the moment about dates for another training camp this year, potentially. So like maybe the summer, maybe October. So if you are interested, definitely write in the comments below so that I can tell you about it when it gets when it's ready. And then I'm working on, hopefully, fingers crossed, a training camp in Chamonix in 2021. So that is my desire, and that would be cool, wouldn't it? Like, you'd fly over from the States for something like that, wouldn't you? So yes, that is the plan. So keep watching, stay tuned to Wild Ginger Running. If you've got any questions, put them in the comments below and I will answer them in next Q&A, which at the moment is scheduled for 18th of March, Ellie Greenwood, 25th of March, my holiday. April the 1st, Paul Tonkinson, comedian. 8th of April. 8th of April is the next Q&A. So type your comments. If you want your question answered, type them in the YouTube comments below before the 8th of April. Then we've got 15th of April, Tim Piggott. 22nd of April, Debbie Martin Consani. 29th, unplanned. Unplanned. Scary, huh? Okay, cool. Thanks everybody for watching. Thank you so much. Thank you so much if you are a patron. Like, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. It's just so cool of you to support me every month. I really appreciate it. And you are the reason that I get out of bed every morning. You are the reason I drag my ass on a run when it's not a nice day outside. You are the reason I do loads of posts on social media, test gear, and do all these race recce's. Basically, you run my life. So thank you so much for being involved with the channel. It's awesome to hang out with you. And yes, come to my training camp, come to the race, come meet me. It'll be great to see you. Cool. Okay, I'm going to stop talking now because it's been 1 hour and 6 minutes. So thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Thank you for watching again, and I will see you on the trails. Night, everybody.